Then when I started the DealMachine, I told him, I said, we're going to do what's called driving for dollars, right? I said, here's the deal. You're going to look out your window. I'm going to look out my window. And if you find a house, I told him some things to look for. And I said, if you find a house and I approve that it needs to go in here, you get $10. And 5 goes in the bank account, 5 goes to you. I said, and if I buy that house, you get $100. And we'll do 50-50. So he was like, oh, let's go do it. And we just started putting in a few miles and hitting some neighborhoods and, started putting some properties in our DealMachine.
Kendall, that's a pretty sweet deal.
Yes.
Hello.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Doing good.
Oh, you've got your partner in crime there.
Got my buddy with me. Yep.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. And you are, sir, I know Brian, but you are?
Kendall.
Kendall?
Yeah.
Kendall.
Love it.
Yep.
And how old are you, Kendall?
10.
10? My goodness, double digits.
He just turned 10 in November.
Oh my gosh, well, happy belated. So good to see you guys. Thanks for getting on this call with me. I'm really excited to hear your story and everything.
Yeah, appreciate the opportunity.
But I want to first ask, you guys are okay if I put this on YouTube and everything?
100%.
Yay! Okay, cool.
Yeah.
You're going to be a star, Kendall. People are going to love you. Where are you guys located?
So our market that we're working out of is Goldsboro, North Carolina, Eastern North Carolina.
Okay, cool.
Yep. Right now we're in a mellow mushroom in Virginia somewhere.
Wow, I feel very honored. You're in another place and I'm just getting on here. So where are you guys? This is for my own personal question, but are you guys by the Outer Banks then?
About half, you know where Raleigh is?
Yeah.
So we're about halfway between Raleigh and the Outer Banks. Yeah.
So jealous. My favorite place in the entire world is the Outer Banks. So
yeah, we can be there in a couple hours. It's a pretty easy drive.
I love it. Okay, so tell me a little bit, how did Brian, you get into real estate investing? What's your story?
So I'm a realtor, I'm a broker, and I own a property management company. And I got my real estate license 18 years ago now, and did traditional real estate sales. And in 2007, decided I'd start a little side business, property management, and just to make some extra bucks on the side. I was already in real estate, and I did. So I started it up, and that turned out to be a blessing in disguise, because when the market tanked, that was my fallback, and that was my property solution to be able to help people with properties they couldn't sell and needed to sell. We could at least rent it out for a period of time until they could do so. Started focusing more on the property management business, picked up more investor clients, helped them buy a bunch of properties, make a bunch of money, and decided, 3 years ago or so, I'm putting a bunch of money in a bunch of people's pockets. It's time for me to maybe shift my focus on some of those a little bit to me. These guys are making, 20, 30,000 in instant equity and $400 or $500 a month in positive cash flow on one property. And I'm walking out of there with a $1,500 commission check.
Yeah.
So, time to switch gears a little bit. And,
that's amazing.
So a couple years ago, 3 years ago, I just kind of started diving online and, some of the traditional bigger pockets, podcasts, and just listening to everything. And I kept hearing DealMachine. And about 3 weeks ago or so, I said, well, time to make this thing go live and let's see what it's all about. And, so I did, and teaching my little buddy here, most kids, they get a few dollars and they can't wait to spend it. It burns a hole in their pocket.
Right.
Get some birthday money and, 10 minutes after the birthday party, can we go to the store? Can we go to the store? Can we go to the store? Can you get this for me on Amazon? And I was like, man, I need to teach him about finance, because he needs to be one of the guys that people like me were taking properties to, not the guy selling it. And, and I said, there's got to be a better way. So I finally told him, I said, I'll make a deal with you. We're going to start a bank account. 50% of everything that you get will go into that bank account. The other 50% you can do with it what you want. And so he was like, yeah, that's a good idea. Then when I started the DealMachine 3 or 4 weeks ago, whenever it was, I finally activated the account and really started focusing on that part a little bit. I told him, I said, we're going to do what's called driving for dollars, right? I said, here's the deal. You're going to look out your window. I'm going to look out my window. And if you find a house, I told him some things to look for. And I said, if you find a house and I approve that it needs to go in here, you get $10. And 5 goes in the bank account, 5 goes to you. I said, and if I buy that house, you get $100. And we'll do 50-50. So he was like, oh, let's go do it. And we just started putting in a few miles and hitting some neighborhoods and, started putting some properties in our DealMachine.
Kendall, that's a pretty sweet deal.
Yes.
Yeah. Are you now, is there anything specific you're saving up for with the money that you do have that's not in the bank account?
Honestly, I don't know. I'm just saving up.
Yeah. Oh, hey, that's good. Cause I was one of those kids that did just go and buy something after my birthday. So definitely your dad is teaching you a very good lesson. So what, how many properties do you guys have in the account now?
Man, I don't even know. 50 maybe.
Okay.
Maybe 50.
Okay.
Yeah. We put in some miles, but not like we haven't spent countless hours. I didn't want to put him in the truck with me and like get him too terribly bored with it. And, now I just say, hey, you want to go ride around for a while? And he go, oh yeah, we'll go drive for an hour, put in 10, 15 miles, find some houses that look like they could use some of our attention. And then we go from there. So we probably had, I know you guys say, 200 houses is what you need in the app. That's kind of the boost for success. We were probably at like 20 when we found the one we got under contract already.
That is crazy. I should put a disclaimer. This is a rare occurrence sometimes to people who are watching this. It doesn't always take 20 properties, but how did you tell people how you are reaching out to them? What's your tactic?
So I'm using the skip tracing feature. That has proved to start it. I've got some conversations going with some other people, at least to the point that they'll talk to me. They're not telling me to take me off the list and all that kind of good stuff. So they're entertaining. We're in talks right now with another property owner who's wanting to sell. She's got to figure out how she can sell. Turns out she was in pre-foreclosure. I didn't know that, but we're trying to work that deal out. But the skip tracing method is, when it pulls up the stuff, seems to be pretty accurate. And it's too simple. You put a house in, hit the button. If there's anything to be found, it pulls it up. And I've called, I've emailed, and then I'm doing the direct mail mailers.
Oh, awesome. Are you doing repeat so many times
Yeah, I set up a campaign to where it would drip on them direct mail style for, I think it's 6 or 7 months. So it goes like one, and then I think it's 2 weeks, and then 2 weeks, and then it goes to 21 days for 1 or 2. And then I set it up to be 30 days after that, up and through 7 months.
That's perfect.
So, yeah. I don't know if it's perfect or not, but I figured out a half a year might keep me in front of them long enough that they either call me and tell me to stop, which means it's working, or they call me and tell me, hey dude, what's your deal? Why do you want this house? And then we can talk about it.
And they maybe just like take one and they put it on the fridge and they're like, man, I'll call him maybe in like a month or 2 or something.
Who knows? Yeah. Who knows?
So what, with this current one, you said you have it under contract. Have you had it closed yet or find a buyer?
No, we're closing. I think February 7th, I think is our close date on it. Yep.
So you're wholesaling it?
No, I'm gonna BRRRR this property. I'm gonna keep it as a rental.
Yeah.
Yep. And it's in great shape. It's extremely lucky for it to be like on property number 20 in DealMachine. Extremely lucky for her to be so eager to sell, and extremely lucky that, I'm gonna have to do a little bit of work, but nowhere near what I've done on some others. And
do you mind me asking what you got it under contract for?
Yeah, sure. I got it under contract at $55,000, and the market value is right at 95 to 100.
Oh my gosh.
And I've got to buy a refrigerator, a stove, and paint it. That's it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I can't wait to hear at the end of this BRRRR what you end up with.
Yeah, I'll be glad to share the final numbers with you once we get it all worked out.
Oh, we'll definitely be in contact. So I got to get you and Kendall some swag. So that way when you're
Yeah.
driving around, you guys can wear it. And I'm sure that so Kendall, I'm going to ask you a question. What are the main things you look for when you're looking for houses to add?
Well, we look for houses that have yards that are like burned down and like not good at all. And we look for houses that have tarps on the top of them. And we look for houses that are new, but they're like dusty and old.
Ooh, I love it. I like the new but dusty and old. They're just like no one's there. That's so awesome that you're out there making money, man. You see a house and you're like, that's gold. And
yeah,
your dad gets this house, so then you get $100, right?
Yo, yeah.
Oh yeah, man, you're rolling in the bank here, especially since if you've your market then, is it pretty like hot or is it kind of untouched? What do you guys?
It's a pretty hot market. I mean, things sell pretty quickly. I mean, I could very easily flip this one house, but it's such a good rental. I've got a house that's 4 doors down from this house that I bought a year and a half ago. It was like my second rental property. And and it rented out just like that. And so that's why I went to the neighborhood, because I was somewhat familiar. It's literally like a 1-street neighborhood. And the funny thing is there was a house in the neighborhood. It's literally across the street from the one I got under contract that I thought about, because last February or so, it's probably been about a year. One of the neighbors told me, he was like, "Hey, I love what you did with that house, whatever the number was, 160. Has been vacant for a long time. And I heard that guy wants to sell." And I said, "Sweet, give me his phone number." And I said, "Do you have any idea how much he wants for it?" He said, "Yeah, $35,000 could buy that house." And I was like, 3-bedroom, 1 bath. And I was like, okay, well, again, I had just really started my investing journey, right? So I didn't have a lot of, and I don't now have a lot of cash, but like hard money people, I didn't know what to do there. I didn't, banking, I'm still trying to work on that relationship. So I was like, man, I'll call this guy whenever I refinance this other one back out. And I just never did. So that's really that house was the one where I wanted to go over there, because I was kind of teeing him up a couple, but he's got a really good eye. And, and so I went by there and there's a realtor sign in the front yard. And I was like, so I called it, and the realtor is actually the one who bought it and flipped it. And he had it on the market at $99,000.
Oh my God.
He had it on the market at $99,000. So I missed that one. And that was my own fault, just from my own. Honestly, it was not one, you always hear people say, if you got the deal, you can find the money. And I feel like that is more true than some people believe. It's more true than I believed, honestly. But I've seen it now. I should have just called the guy, put it under contract, and then hustled my butt off to find the money. Because I've learned now there's avenues out there and you can find it. If you got the right deal, you can find it.
I feel like there's always with investors, especially starting out, there's the one that got away that like never leaves your mind.
And that kind of motivated me, right? So I was just like, oh, I'm not going to let this happen ever again. And I mean, that kind of motivated me, because he did a pretty good job on it, but it's not like he, tore out walls, and, he spent maybe 15. So he's all in at 50. He's got it on the market at 99. Yeah.
It stings a little bit.
Yeah, it stings a lot, but if that's what keeps the fire lit, I'm good with it.
That's amazing. And you know what a lot of people say that is that it's in neighborhoods that they know that they usually find like their first deal when they're driving for dollars, because you know it so well. So how many doors do you have total right now?
That we rent, that we own?
Yeah.
I think we're now, like, this one will be number 10.
Dang.
Yeah, this one will be number 10.
Another double digit here. You got Kendall at 10, you got 10 properties. Just add one every year.
Yep. So yeah, this one will be number 10. And I'm hoping I can try my hand at a couple of flips if I can make the margins work out to where it's worth the headache and the time.
Yeah, that I will say that's my only hesitation with flips, is that, you hear the stories of the headaches and the things like that. But David started out, our CEO started out with BRRRRs too, and I had no idea. And he's like, yeah, you get it for no money. And I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
that's so crazy.
I mean, this one in particular, I mean, because I've got a relationship now with the bank that'll give me 75% LTV when it's done, and I've got it rented. So, and it's worth, like I said, right at 100. So when I buy it and do what I got to do to it, I mean, I'll probably refinance that thing out and get $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 just in my pocket, you know.
Aren't you so glad you decided not to do what these other guys were doing? And so
yeah, absolutely. You know, and the funny thing is I told a couple of them, because I was like, hey man, I want to partner on a couple of these deals, you know, like I'm doing the legwork, I'm finding the deals, let's partner on it somehow. Let's figure out something that works. And one of them told me, he was like, man, don't take this the wrong way, but I don't need you. And I was like, okay. I said, not a problem. You know, I said, but you need me to find them. You know, that's the only way you found them. But, you know, I said, no worries, not a problem. I said, but when I figure it out, you won't be getting them anymore. And, you know, and he sent me a message a month or so ago, and he was like, man, I haven't heard from you in like a year. You know, everything okay? I said, you remember our last conversation? He said, yeah. And I said, I figured it out.
That's why you haven't been hearing from me.
Yeah. I was like, man, you know, so.
What does 2021 look like for you guys? What are some goals that you're wanting to hit?
I would love to, it may sound ambitious to some, it may sound low to others, but I would love to buy 10 more properties in 2021.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, I can't tell you right now how I'm going to get there or how I'm going to do it, but that's my goal. And
you're going to have Kendall right there adding all the good properties for you.
Passenger window viewer. We can work the same street on both sides.
I'm telling you, that is one of the only ways I always take a girlfriend with me and we go driving and I say, you take this side, I'll take this side. It makes it so much easier.
Oh, it's so much easier. I've kind of messed around a little bit by myself, just on my way to and from work. I'll just pull into a neighborhood like I haven't been in before, or, you know, one I haven't seen forever. And, you know, by yourself, it's not easy because you're scared you're going to miss the deal, right?
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to miss the one with the boarded up windows, like it doesn't stick out with a sore thumb.
Well, and you're going to also be like, you have two things I think of. One, I always have to like reach over and try to look really awkward taking a picture out of the other window. Mm-hmm. And the other thing is, Kendall here looks so innocent. No one's going to come out and be like, why are you taking a picture of my house? You know, like my son and I are on a stroll.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I have figured out though, if you're on a street that you're a little nervous about and there's no one else around, all you have to do is hit the maps button on DealMachine and you'll find a property you need to take a picture of. Someone will be behind you at that moment. I swear, I'm like, man, I haven't seen a car in this neighborhood for 10 minutes. And I'm ready to take a picture. All of a sudden there's a guy behind me going, what are you doing? Let's move on.
I tell you, that's always, and I always hate it when I see a house because now I'm sure even as you guys are driving and you're not just like looking for houses, you'll see one and you'll be like, of course, on the busiest street in the entire
Absolutely. We took one that same day, as a matter of fact. Wasn't that same? Yeah, it was that same day. There's a house I've seen. It's 3 miles from my house, and I kept going by it. You can never get where you can stop and take a picture. So I handed my phone to Kendall. It was going to be on his side coming back home. I said, I'm gonna slow down almost to a stop, get steady, and take a picture as fast as you can. And there were cars behind me. A couple of them honked, and I was just like, well, it takes 2 seconds. It won't screw up their whole day.
Hey, it won't be another house like you had where you have to think, what if? You at least know you got the picture, you're going for it. So
that's right. Yep.
That's awesome. And so thank you guys so much for sharing this. And I want to know how this all turns out with the BRRRR and everything, but I want to send you guys swag.
Fantastic.
So I want to know, would you prefer hats or would you like a shirt?
You want a hat? He wants a hat. I'd love a shirt.
All right. We got one hat, one shirt. Okay. I will send you guys a link after this. I'd love a picture of you both. If you could send me one of you guys and to use on the thumbnail. Would you guys like the raw footage from this at all?
I would love it.
Okay, perfect. And I really appreciate you tagging us on social media. That warms my heart every time you guys do. So thank you guys in advance for that. And also I will get you, the link will go to our swag shop. You just put the stuff in cart and
Sure.
it'll comp everything out at the end. So
Fantastic. Yeah. Yeah. I hope you don't mind me tagging you guys some more, because I will say the driving for dollars and DealMachine works, because I mean, I knew it was going to work. I just had no idea it would work at like number 20. It was just a lucky
I'm
shot.
not gonna lie, I was not expecting number 20 to be the part where you're like, that's when we got this under contract. I was
like, the funny thing is I literally think I had more demo properties in my DealMachine app than I did like actual properties that we had put in there.
That's amazing, because I forgot that we put demo properties now. So you had 10 in there, and then you had to have 10 more.
Oh yeah, yeah, mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I hope that, please keep in contact with me. You have my email, but let me know if you guys ever need anything, or
Okay.
I'd love to do another check-in video sometime to see.
Absolutely.
Maybe Kendall can do a video with me about best practices looking for properties. Would you like that?
That would be cool.
That would be awesome. Maybe also, if you guys are up for it, I'd love for you guys to do like you could do a live takeover of DealMachine and show us you guys driving or something.
Yeah, I would love that. That would be awesome.
Awesome. Oh, that's so great. Well, thank you guys again for taking time in the middle of Virginia to talk to me. And again, let me know if you guys need anything, but it was great meeting you guys.
Nice talking to you. Thank you so much. We look forward to working with DealMachine a lot more.
Yes, we are so happy to be part of your journey.
Yeah, fantastic. Thank you.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.